Hello everyone, welcome back to the next installment of the Subscriber of the Week question. And if you're not familiar with how these go, you can just read the description box below. It's pretty simple, you'll catch on quick. With that said, this week's question is from a repeat subscriber. You guys voted on this question, so the majority of the votes went to this question, so I went ahead and selected it, even though we already had a question from the subscriber, Swaroop Athlete. And the question is, why are we able to lift more weight using a barbell bench press as opposed to a dumbbell bench press? I'm just going to isolate this to bench press, although this certainly applies to other modalities as well. And the reasons really aren't all that physiological. You could probably talk to a biomechanist, and they'd probably be able to tell you, I think, probably a better answer than I can. But I will say, from a physiological standpoint, you're essentially taking your nervous system and you're consciously having to think about two different actions at the same time. It's not quite to the same level as tapping your head and rubbing your stomach, but it is a little bit like that. You have to consciously separate out between what's going on in each hand as opposed to holding onto one object, and I think that's what it really boils down to. If you're lifting a barbell, you've got both hands on a single object, as opposed to when you're lifting with dumbbells, you've got each hand is lifting a separate object. And while those are typically in the same weight range on both hands, that's still going to be much more difficult, just because you have to train your stabilizer muscles, not really train your muscles themselves, but you have to train your nervous system to activate the correct muscles and to be able to handle dumbbells in each hand. So that's going to play a huge role. And then even as you progressively get stronger, as you get stronger and stronger on a dumbbell bench press, typically you'll still be able to outperform on a barbell bench press. That has nothing to do, though, however, with your muscles. Your muscles are still there. Just because you can lift a lot more on a barbell and then you switch to dumbbell after a while, and even if you stick to dumbbell for a while, you're still going to have extreme difficulty trying to surpass your barbell bench press numbers, because, again, you have to separate and you have to really consciously think about not moving one object, but thinking about moving two objects. And you could even take a step back, look at machines, looking at a machine press as opposed to a barbell bench press, and those are kind of in a similar category. You think about a machine press, it's stationary. You essentially just push. All you have to do is push. You don't have to consciously think about too much. You just push, that's it. And the machine will move to its proper end location and then back down. But a barbell, you have to control it. So then suddenly the planes of motion come into as a factor. So those planes of motion, suddenly your body can start moving this way and that way, as opposed to a machine which is rigid. It just moves back and forth. A barbell, you can move either way. And then take it a whole nother step with dumbbells. Suddenly your wrist can move either way. So hopefully I'm making sense with this explanation, but as you can see, it's not so much physiology. I mean, your physiology is there, it's capable, it's 100% ready to handle any situation. It's not like it's gotten worse. It's just a matter of more conscious thought. It's more of a consciously thinking about your nervous system and enabling it to be able to do particular activities is far more difficult when you're talking about separate activities at the same time. Okay, hopefully I answered the question to your satisfaction, Swaroop, and everybody else who voted for that question. And granted, I will say again, if you talk to a person who specializes in biomechanics, they'd probably be able to give you a far better answer than I can, because this isn't physiology limited, I will say. So, with that said, I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope that you have an amazing week. Have a good one. See ya.